So, as promised, I said I would keep you guys updated with regards to the new Celestial Enchantments and how they're going to be working with Module 28. Well, we have some more news with that, and some sad tidings that one of the most active developers as of late is going to be leaving us very soon, sadly. So let's first jump to the Celestial Enchantments. If you're not aware, they will be coming with the Module 28 update, most likely in April. I'll cover more specifics and my best guess for that in another video, but ultimately, yeah, you'll be getting Celestial Enchantments, which are essentially just an upgrade rank from Mythic. The big problem with these is that you cannot upgrade one unless it is bound to your character. And even upgrading a normal bound to character one won't work. You have to go and use the trade-in here, unlocking the enchantments to be account-wide. Once they are account-wide and you can reclaim them on all of your characters, they become character-bound. You lose all value of the enchantment, you can never resell it. But now you will be able to go and refine that and upgrade it to the new rank. And that will be the only way, as of right now, to upgrade enchantments to the new rank. Meaning people are forced to bind the enchantment if they want to upgrade it. Additionally, the problem when you do go and upgrade it is that there's no way to create this enchantment to be account wide. And since it's bound to my character, I cannot transfer it to other characters anymore. However, it appears the devs are not sure what to do, and they have a bit of work on their plate in order to fix it. Brett Norton, the executive producer, went and gave us some insights as to what's going on and why they can't just flip a switch and make it all right. Well, that's because there are some technical issues, they say, and they do want to try and figure it out, but it's a tricky situation. He says they are aware that players would like to see an account-wide reclaim for the Celestial Enchantments, but this system is not currently in Module 28, but it is something they are investigating. To provide some context, the prior Mythic enchantment reclaim system added some technical challenges to refining enchantments, which they're trying to solve. There are some tricky situations they need to avoid, such as players being able to reclaim multiple or unlimited enchantments of different ranks or rarities when refining to Celestial across many characters on the same account. And they say they'll update us on their investigations in the near future. And it's important to note, however, that some of our balancing or costing for the enchantments is based on the current system, having them bound to character. And so, if they do find ways to make them account-wide reclaim, the cost will most likely change, most likely go up. Right now, to upgrade to Celestial, you just need this amount of reagents. 400,000 refinement points, 6 glyphs, 20 gold. Exactly the same amount as it was to go from Legendary to Mythic in Module 27, what it is right now on the live server. And they've also went and reduced the previous ranks. That's probably likely going to stay, but this, if we can make Celestials account wide, may very well go up in price. And I think that's fine. I would rather the initial cost be pretty high and then be able to just have that enchantment on all of my characters than being stuck with this enchantment only on this character. So that's ultimately the news we got. They are in a bit of a pickle of what they should do. They would know that players want them to be account wide. They don't really seem to want to move on, say, not binding them. That seems to be what they want to do. They want to make players have to bind them to upgrade them. Not sure why. There was no further news on that, and it's likely they want to keep it that way. I think it's a bit cruel, but it also creates a sink so that players will, invest that value into their character, and that's it. The value is then taken out of the economy rather than being able to resell it. If I, say, went and quit the game, I could throw all my enchantments on the auction house, get some astral diamonds, and essentially give away my enchantments for, say, cheaper than I made them. And that's just, not the best for the economy when you want players to be spending and basically using resources. In my opinion, what they should really do is just allow the upgrades of bound enchantments, of unbound enchantments. If you upgrade a bound one, it should unlock as account wide in the reclaim here. And if you upgrade an unbound one, it should just stay as such and sell it if you want to sell it. But I personally think the upgrades, the cost, should be a lot more than it is. Introduce a new currency that requires us to play a lot. Perhaps you need to do a whole bunch of different master trials getting the currency from that. You could consider Celestial Enchantments as the pinnacle endgame enchantments. Require to upgrade one, you need like, I don't know, 50 completions of each master trial, and then you can upgrade it. There you go, you have an enchantment worth like maybe 50 million, just requires you to play a lot of the game. Over time, there'll be more and more of them. Sounds like obscene costs, but it's at least something you can do in the game to improve your character, and if that cost is the same for everybody, then it can be worth it. I don't think we should expect that we need to get all Celestial Enchantments day one. It should require us to play the game a lot. And just having resources like right now, it's just your glyphs, gold, refinement, and emote. Seems very cheap when you look at players who've played for years and years and years, and it's been already 3 years since the last enchantment rework, and if you have lots of characters and just been invoking every day, you're probably sitting on 50 to hundreds of coal motes, and that price is not much at all. You could think for the average player, yes it is, that's pretty expensive, but the average player doesn't need Celestial Enchantments. You can complete all the content in the game right now with just mythics. You won't need Celestials to complete it. And I think there should be something that takes a long time to get, that takes a lot of effort. So why not take the opportunity to take advantage of content that's already in the game? Give us uses of that currency that we obtain in there. For example, currency here, I have 300 Exempted Eyes, doing nothing. And we have the older trials like Zariel, Tower the Mad Mage, Crown of Keldagon. They all have master currency too that could be used for upgrades. Yes, people might think that's a big, let's say, gate factor, and I think that's fine because you can get to that level with mythic enchantments, play that content, get the currency, upgrade them for yourself, or you can just spend even more and buy them off other players. Again, each enchantment is 300 item level improvement. To be honest, that's not a lot when we're already nearly at 100,000 item level. And yes, the combat enchantment will be the most impactful one along with the companion enchantment if you're a DPS. Otherwise, yeah, there's a lot of things they could do other than just having a very simple price of, say, coal motes, refinement, glyphs, and gold. And it could well be a missed opportunity that they don't just make it more expensive and basically make it require a lot more of actually playing the game. Overall, just my 2 cents. You may very well disagree with that, potentially if you're a player who just can't do master content for whatever reason. If you don't have your character geared out enough, I don't think you should be worrying about Celestial Enchantments then. But let's move on. The executive producer, Brett Norton, who is giving us this news here, is also responsible for giving us information on a lot of, say, the class changes and improvements that he's done over the past half year or so. And I would say he's done definitely a lot of improvements. Some just snarky old people are going to say they don't like any change at all and would rather have preferred the game stay the way it was. But I think he's done a very good job with balancing rogue, with balancing fighter, barbarian, bard, and seems to be making some good headway with warden and ranger as well. Wizards might be feeling a bit sorry for their nerfs, but I feel that was kind of needed. They were pretty overpowered. Overall, he has been the one that has worked very closely with the community and just keeping us up to date with what the changes are coming. And so it is really sad to have to see this. he's going to be moving on to other work, as are a lot of the other Cryptic Studios staff, with then Deca Games taking over. We can only hope they do a good job and they get some good devs that can learn quickly and perhaps improve upon the game as it is right now. You can see all of what he says here. They're aggressive with onboarding new staff and making sure they're caught up to speed with regards to their plans and results and relevant meta knowledge for this kind of scenario. And yeah, there'll probably be some growing pains, but the new staff has access to a lot of onboarding materials and they're running regular training sessions. Himself and Cryptic Studios staff are still working on Neverwinter, and they're pushing in as many bug fixes, balance tweaks, and quality of life changes as they can for both Module 28 and the near future, most likely Module 29, which is most likely what they're currently working on. The majority of Module 28, I'm guessing, is pretty much finalized outside of a few tweaks and changes, which I guess fewer devs can do versus actually creating content like all the artwork and designing, etc. So I assume a lot of that's for Module 29. So yeah, it is very sad to see that Brett Norton will be leaving us. I believe it was originally spotted on the LinkedIn. This was his page here where he was giving thanks for his time at Cryptic and all the opportunities he got to experience. And yes, I personally would like to thank Brett Norton as well. He done a lot of work, a lot of improvements, and worked very closely with us, the players, taking on board our feedback, making adaptations as a result. I have not seen that interaction in my entire history following Neverwinter. Never has there been a dev that worked so closely like that outside of private testings and things like that. Just be aware that Brett Norton will be having a stream on Twitch to answer questions from us, the community, probably early next month, he said. Potentially we can get some more concrete answers then as well about the state of the game and yeah, again, more information on the Celestial Enchantments and where they're at, what their plans are for them, if they can potentially make them account wide or not, and allow us to actually upgrade them unbound. Overall, again, I'll keep you guys updated. We'll see what happens, and yeah, I am still looking forward to the new dungeon. I hope that is a good experience and a bit of fun, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.